My roommate is a scion of the capital's elite. He orchestrated my boyfriend's abandonment of me, subsequently assuming the role of my new partner. Onlookers often assert that two alphas cannot endure long together. Throughout our 3-year courtship, he yearned for intimacy at any given moment, showering me with unparalleled tenderness. In the face of an assassination attempt, he commanded his bodyguard, "Do not concern yourself with me, protect brother Jie." I was led to believe that his love for me would remain unwavering. However, everything changed when he encountered his true love, an omega whose pheromone compatibility reached an astonishing 99.99. Under the influence of this pheromone, he developed an intense physiological aversion towards me. Kissing me would induce nausea, and he was unable to tolerate my presence. During another assassination attempt, he shielded the omega from harm, while I was grievously injured, receiving 40 stitches in my abdomen. Abandoning everything, I departed from the capital. I later heard that the scion had descended into madness, scouring the world for a wife. Upon our next encounter, he had mutilated his glands, laughingly declaring, "What use is a gland that cannot even distinguish between a wife?" 1. My ex-boyfriend, Xin Yan, returned to the country and sought me out, revealing a startling truth. Years ago, Fu Yunting pursued me. Even my opportunity to study abroad was arranged by him. After our breakup, he ceased all communication with me. It was only upon my return that I discovered you two were together. From the very beginning, his affections were solely directed towards you that I was taken aback Fu Yunting had resorted to such unscrupulous tactics to win my heart. During our university days, Fu Yunting and I shared a room. For reasons unbeknownst to me, he was exceedingly clingy, relishing any physical contact between us. One night, he climbed into my bed and said, "Brother Jie, my blanket is damp, may I sleep with you?" I rolled my eyes. In a moment of whimsy, the scion took it upon himself to wash the blanket, carelessly tossing it into the washing machine, which subsequently malfunctioned, leaving the blanket to drip on the balcony. They've all gone home for the holidays. You can sleep on the bed of the second or third brother. No, I detest their pheromones. With reluctance, I shuffled over, conceding half of the bed to him. Fu Yunting, like an eager puppy, nestled close to my glands and sniffed, exclaiming, "Your appearance is so cool and aloof, yet your pheromones smell like peaches. How adorable." I adore your pheromones. We are both alphas when we detect each other's pheromones. All we want to do is fight. Keep your distance. The scent of your potent pheromones makes me want to kick you away. Fu Yunting embraced me, playfully insisting, "No, I want to be the best in the world with brother Jie." I found myself at a loss. Perusing my recent conversations with Xin Yan, I noted that for the past month, I had been the one initiating our chats, to which he responded with perfunctory replies. We were both studying in the capital, yet I was in the southern part of the city while he resided in the north. Each time I suggested visiting him, he would claim to be busy with experiments and lacking time. Had we truly become so estranged that we could not even manage a meal together? As I pondered over him, a message from him arrived. "Jiang Jie, I have something to tell you. I will be studying abroad. When are you leaving?" "This Friday." "So you arranged everything in secret and informed me only before your departure." "I'm sorry, let's break up. I have fallen for someone else." I was abruptly cast aside by my boyfriend. I shielded my eyes with my arm as tears betrayed me, cascading down my cheeks. "Brother Jie, he is not worth your sorrow. You deserve so much more. He is my first love, my very first omega." Overwhelmed with emotion, I unleashed a torrent of aggressive pheromones. Instinctively, Fu Yunting responded in kind, releasing a wave of his own potent pheromones. The clash of two class alpha pheromones was evenly matched, neither yielding to the other. As I contemplated striking Fu Yunting, he suddenly captured my lips in a fervent kiss. He deepened the kiss, exploring my body with an insatiable desire. What was happening? I remained entranced by his kiss for what felt like an eternity before beginning to resist. I bit his lip, forcefully pushing him away, mortified as I wiped the moisture from my lips. "Have you lost your mind? We are both alphas." Fu Yunting, breathless and with a satisfied grin, gazed at me, a trickle of blood at the corner of his mouth, exuding a devilish charm. "I find you irresistible in this state. It's exhilarating. Get away. I cannot accept an AA relationship that I could no longer share a bed with him." Reeling from the dual blow of being dumped and receiving an unsolicited kiss from a same-sex partner, I sought solace in a bar, drowning my sorrows in alcohol. 2. I ordered several types of wine, and as I sipped them, I couldn't help but notice that they all shared a flavor reminiscent of Fu Yunting's pheromones. I pressed my forehead in frustration. Surely, he was toxic. "Hey there, what's the point of drinking alone? Let me keep you company," someone said as they settled beside me. Yes, this is exactly the kind of delicate and soft personality I prefer. Rather than Fu Yunting, who towers over me, older, and undeniably more formidable. "My name is Jiang Ji. What about you?" "I'm Andy. Let me pour you a drink." By now, I was about 6 or 7 parts intoxicated, and amidst my chaotic thoughts, I failed to notice Andy discreetly dropping a pill into my glass while pouring. After finishing the drink he handed me, I felt a surge of heat rise within me, my glands igniting with warmth. Pressing against my glands, I coldly asked, "What have you done to me, bro? I have my eyes on your glands." On the market, a first-class gland could fetch at least $500,000. He had drugged me to catalyze my susceptibility, intending to harvest my glands while I was still alive. The drug rendered me utterly weak, stripping me of any strength and the ability to unleash my defensive pheromones. 2 others appeared, ready to take me away. At that moment, Fu Yunting arrived. He seized a bottle and smashed it against Andy's head. His bodyguards restrained the 3 men. Fu Yunting scooped me up in a princess carry and declared, "Take them to the Alliance prison." He then brought me to an apartment near the bar and laid me on the bed. Under the drug's influence, I incessantly released mating pheromones.
Fu Yunting, administer an inhibitor.
The drug they gave you is too potent. The inhibitor won't help and will only make you feel worse. Then can you step away and let me endure this susceptibility period on my own? Fu Yunting removed his shirt and reached toward my abdomen.
Shiye.
Just give it a try, and you'll see it's even more exhilarating. I tilted my head back, my Adam's apple bobbing, drenched in sweat. This brute, Fu Yunting. My susceptibility period lasted 7 days, and he worked me over for all 7. On the morning of the 8th day, I found myself smoking a cigarette while contemplating life. Fu Yunting took the cigarette from my hand, biting down on the end I had already chewed. "Jigu, I am your first love, your first." I sighed, pondering how it had come to this. The room was filled with the mingling scents of peaches and strong liquor, 2 conflicting pheromones that, upon contact, created a surprisingly harmonious blend of sweet peach-flavored liquor. Fu Yunting caressed the nape of my neck and said, "The mark I gave you has vanished. Jigu, let me mark you again." He bit down on my gland, infusing it with his pheromones. My toes curled, my body tingled, and I felt as though I were intoxicated. "I knew you would enjoy this. You're just as much of a pervert as I am." I tackled him, biting down on his gland to inject my pheromones into him. Grasping my hair, he hoarsely murmured, "Baby, I truly love you to pieces." Thus, I found myself in a relationship with Fu Yunting. 3. Others often claim that 2 alphas in love cannot last long. Yet, we have been together for 3 years, and Fu Yunting's passion for me only intensifies. Our days together are filled with joy. I saved up to open a car repair shop. With my own business and a harmonious partner, life has been vibrant, and I feel immensely satisfied. However, the appearance of Shen Yen sent ripples through my happiness. Shen Yen approached me with red-rimmed eyes, invading my personal space and emanating the scent of gardenia pheromones. "Jigu, do I still have a chance?" We had shared a mutual crush in high school and confirmed our relationship in college, once enjoying beautiful moments together. Our reunion brought no flutter of the heart, only a warm sense of familiarity with an old friend. I replied softly, "Shen Yen, we have no future. I know you have the courage to never look back once you turn away, but I can't help but feel regretful for how well you treated me before. It's my fault for not cherishing you, and now I've lost you." Shortly after Shen Yen left, Fu Yunting arrived. He embraced me from behind, suddenly pausing. I could tell he sensed the lingering gardenia pheromones on me. It was impossible for him not to. He lifted me onto the office desk, behaving recklessly. "Stop. Someone could walk in at any moment. Don't worry. I've got my bodyguards at the door. No one will interrupt us." Fu Yunting was smiling, yet I could sense his anger, like a lion defending its territory, full of aggression. His possessiveness was intense, and I was no different. "So, the Shin fellow comes back to the country and seeks you out. What did he say?" "He claimed you deliberately pursued him to drive him away from me." "That was indeed my doing, but if he truly loved you, he wouldn't have fallen for my ploy." "Jigu, everything I do is out of love for you. Please don't be angry. If this had happened 3 years ago, I would have been furious. Yet now, this revelation was insufficient to ignite my anger." Fu Yunting understood me well enough to confess the truth in such an infuriating manner. He bent down, kissing a trail down my abdomen. I gripped his hair. He lifted his head, teasingly licking his lips, a sly smile on his face. "If I serve you like this, can Jigo forgive me? I just love you too much. If I don't claim you, I can't even eat. You little rascal." I bit down on Fu Yunting's gland once more, marking him again. Yet we were both alphas. No matter how many times I marked him, it would be futile. Fu Yunting held me tightly, trembling with pleasure, and growled, "Finally, I've licked all that disgusting gardenia scent off you. You are not to see him again. Otherwise, I'll kill him." Alright, it's all old vinegar now. No need to be so sour. He huffed and continued his mischief. 4. Hand in hand with Fu Yunting, I exited the repair shop, ready to dine. Suddenly, 3 vans screeched to a halt in front of us, and 20 tattooed men armed with machetes jumped out, charging toward us. Alpha-level pheromones can neutralize the kinetic energy of bullets in mid-air, making them bulletproof, but they are no defense against blades wielded in close combat. These men were skilled and unaffected by pheromones. The advantage of our alpha-level pheromones was rendered useless. I wrested a machete from one of them, my vision blurred with rage as I shouted to the bodyguards, "Protect Fu Yunting and get him inside. Pull down the shutter." Fu Yunting snapped the arm of one attacker, wielding the blade with deadly precision, his handsome face smeared with blood as he instructed the bodyguards, "Don't worry about me. Just protect Jigu." Yes. We turned our backs to each other, fighting fiercely until the police arrived. In the hospital, Fu Yunting's gaze swept over my numerous wounds, the veins on his forehead bulging. He embraced me, caressing the nape of my neck, his voice a mix of restraint and anguish. "Jigu, does it hurt?" I touched his head, responding lightly, "Not too bad. Want to try a hospital bed?" This man, who seemed to wish to be intimate with me at any given moment, remained unmoved. We held each other tightly, no words needed. Having just faced death, all we required was a single embrace. The police investigation revealed that those men were partners of a nearby repair shop, envious of my thriving business and seeking to teach me a lesson. It sounded absurd, yet they indeed opened a repair shop nearby and refused to reveal who was behind it. Since the attack, Fu Yunting would wake up every night in a fright and quietly go out to the balcony to smoke. Unable to bear it any longer, I dressed and approached him from behind, wrapping my arms around him. His body felt cold. The mastermind behind it all is an illegitimate son of my father. He is a fool who believes that by eliminating me, he can ascend to power. And what has become of him now? He is dead. The Fu family is a veritable den of tigers and dragons, where the various factions engage in a relentless struggle for supremacy, occasionally disrupted by the emergence of an illegitimate child creating chaos. As the crown prince, Fu Yunting navigates his position with utmost caution. I am skilled in both literature and martial arts. Allow me to assist you. These are merely menial tasks, unfit for your hands to be sullied. Fu Yunting grasped my hand tightly and declared, "All I require is your presence by my side, for eternity." Very well. He harbored other troubling matters, which he was reluctant to disclose. Soon, I learned that it was due to his father issuing an ultimatum. Sever all ties with the outside world, return home, and marry to bear children. 5. The Fu family held a grand banquet and Fu Yunting's father sent an invitation to me. Fu Yunting tore the invitation asunder, stating, "You need not concern yourself with this." Nevertheless, on that day, Fu Yunting's father, Fu Boming, nonetheless sent someone to escort me to the Fu residence. They informed me that I was unworthy to attend the banquet and confined me to a room. Within, a large screen displayed the festivities. The guests became agitated as a sudden surge of pheromones flooded the air, triggering a heightened state of receptivity among those present. The bodyguards swiftly evacuated them. Fu Yunting rushed forth, seizing the arm of one guest, his eyes ablaze with desire and possessiveness. I was momentarily taken aback. I was all too familiar with that look. Each time we shared intimacy, he would regard me with such fervor. My cheeks flushed as I leaned against him. "Brother Yunting, the pheromone compatibility report has just arrived. Our match rate is an astounding 99.99. This signifies that upon our encounter, we shall love each other deeply and unwaveringly for all our lives." I thought this was merely a business arrangement. I never anticipated encountering true love. It's so unbearable. "You desire me just as much, don't you?" The individual named Song Yaoyong was Fu Yunting's intended partner. Fu Yunting struggled to push Song Yaoyong away, and in an effort to maintain clarity, he inflicted a cut upon his palm. Blood dripped as he incapacitated the henchman attempting to impede him and staggered toward the exit. I opened the door and collided with Fu Yunting, who pinned me against the door and kissed me, proclaiming, "Darling, I knew you would be here. I could smell your pheromones. Only you can accompany me through this sensitive phase. No one else will suffice." I tended to Fu Yunting's wound and stayed by his side during his vulnerable period. To my dismay, I discovered that despite my utmost efforts, he remained unable to find release. His body yearned intensely for Song Yaoyong's pheromones, driven mad by the desire to mark him. To him, I was tasteless as a bland dish. His pheromones utterly rejected me, akin to a harsh spirit overwhelming a peach. I spent 10 days in that room before Fu Yunting's sensitive phase concluded. Enveloped in his coat, he carried me out of the room. Fu Boming sat in a wheelchair, his body frail, Now you should comprehend. Influenced by Yaoyang's pheromones, this one can no longer satisfy you. If you cannot part with him, you may keep him on the side. This is the greatest concession Yaoyang can offer. Father, I will not marry Song Yaoyang. Chong is my true wife. Fu Yunting pressed a gentle kiss to my forehead, embraced me, and strode away with purpose. Fu Boming's voice trailed behind us like a ghost. Now that he has lost his sexual value, I shall see how long you can retain him. They refrained from killing me because the dead are invincible. They firmly believed in the potency of pheromones, keeping me around to witness Fu Yunting's eventual disdain for me. 6. Could Fu Yunting abandon everything to leave with me? The answer is no. I am an orphan with all my ties bound solely to Fu Yunting. He, however, has brothers who follow him, a mother, and a young sister to care for. He cannot neglect them. Moreover, neither his father nor his enemies would allow him to escape. He is tethered to his fate. Fu Yunting became increasingly busy, fervently aspiring to supplant Fu Boming and assume the mantle of head of the Fu family. My surroundings swelled with bodyguards, all loyal to Fu Yunting. I lit a cigarette, the restlessness within me unyielding. Fu Yunting and I had not been intimate for nearly 2 months. Desire clamored within my body. I craved him, but he was unable to respond. His glands had absorbed Song Yaoyang's pheromones, leaving him in a state of unbearable longing, intensifying the conflict with my own pheromones. He experienced a profound physiological rejection towards me, prompted by the influence of the pheromones. Fu Yunting avoided confronting this reality, opting instead to abstain altogether. My sensitive phase was approaching, and I prepared to administer a suppressive injection. Fu Yunting seized the suppressor from my hand and discarded it into the trash. As long as I am here, you do not need this. But you know, he chuckled with a hint of irritation, tossing me onto the bed. Let me show you something wild, guaranteed to satisfy you. I laughed. Indeed, one should never underestimate a man. Fu Yunting guided me through my sensitive phase, and we seemed to return to the sweetness of our past. 7. One day I went to fetch Fu Yunting after work. To my surprise, Song Yaoyang was also present. Fu Yunting took the initiative to explain, our families have numerous business collaborations, so we often meet. Song Yaoyang graciously extended his hand for a handshake, saying, we are heading to dinner with our partners. Would you care to join us, Chong? Fu Yunting wrapped his arm around my waist. If you do not wish to go, you need not. I would like to join. At the dinner table, Song Yaoyang charmed the room, speaking fluently. Fu Yunting's hand rested on my lower back, murmuring, whom are you eyeing? Focus on your meal. I am eating well. You've lost quite a bit of weight lately, you should eat more. Fu Yunting's gaze was piercing, causing my cheeks to flush. Song Yaoyang approached to toast me. I drank, the rose-flavored liquor reminiscent of the combined essence of Song Yaoyang and Fu Yunting's pheromones. What do you think of the wine, Chong? I replied coolly, I still prefer the taste of peach-flavored spirits. Fu Yunting's expression darkened as he poured out the remainder of my drink, asserting, I share Chong's taste. I have loved peach spirits since university, and I shall never change. Roses and liquor do not pair well. A hint of embarrassment flickered across Song Yaoyang's face. A wave of potent rose pheromones washed over us. Fu Yunting inhaled sharply, the veins on his hand visibly straining. In the air, the essences of rose and liquor intertwined, inextricably linked. Song Yaoyang smugly remarked, your pheromones tell a different story. Fu Yunting, suppressing his desire, tugged at my hand as he hurriedly departed. Once inside the car, Fu Yunting slipped into a sensitive phase. Darling, help me. I leaned down. He grasped my hair, the car filled with the scent of liquor. Yet, lacking Song Yaoyang's pheromones, he found no satisfaction. Initially, he had gone to great lengths to win me because I could provide him with a thrill. Now, the source of that sensation had shifted to Song Yaoyang. Fu Yunting irritably extracted a suppressor and injected it into his heated glands. We both felt a deep sense of discomfort. I have already instructed a team of experts to develop a medication to sever the dependency on high compatibility. Do not worry. However, decades prior, experts had attempted to create such a remedy, yet none had succeeded. I grasped his hand, suppressing my own anxiety. He intertwined his fingers with mine, gazing out the window, a hint of distraction in his expression. 8. Before long, I encountered Andy. He should be serving time in a federal prison. How could he possibly be here? Upon spotting me, Andy took off running. I suppressed him with my pheromones, and he immediately collapsed to his knees. Mr. Jiang, please spare me, he pleaded. I continued to assault him with my pheromones. It was far more excruciating than any physical blow. Andy's complexion turned ashen as he cried out. It was Fu Yunting who instructed me to do it back then. I seized him by the collar, my eyes blazing with rage. What did you just say? Young Master Fu said he wanted to sleep with you. I was merely doing my job for money. Why should I believe you? Andy produced a recording. In it, Fu Yunting asked, will this drug really not harm the body? Andy replied, young Master Fu, rest assured, it's completely safe. Whoever consumes it will be obedient, and you can do as you please with them. A close associate of Fu Yunting questioned, Fu, how could you possibly be interested in someone like him? Who knows what kind of potion he fed me? He keeps appearing before me, stirring my desires. I won't waste too much time on him. Once I've had my fun, I'll cast him aside. In the sweltering summer heat, I felt as though I had fallen into an ice cavern. I smiled, a bitter smile. How did you come by this recording? In this line of work, one must always have an ace up their sleeve for self-preservation. I dragged Andy to Fu Yunting's company. Song Yaoyang was still present today. Just as Fu Yunting had said, they truly met quite often. Although other staff members were around, the atmosphere between the two was palpably delicate. Whether intentional or not, they exchanged soothing pheromones. The mingling of rose and strong liquor pheromones, however low the concentration, created a lingering, intoxicating ambience. With their high compatibility, the effect was utterly exhilarating. Felt no different from flirting. When Fu Yunting saw Andy, his body tensed and his expression darkened. You all leave, he commanded. Song Yaoyang cast a lingering glance at Fu Yunting before exiting with the others.
Yang Yi.
No matter what he says, don't believe him. I played the recording. Faced with the evidence, he could not refute it.
Fu Yunting erupted in fury,
unleashing a pheromone attack on Andy, who promptly fainted. I retaliated with my own pheromone assault. The atmosphere between our pheromones was devoid of any ambiguity. It was merely a clash of dominance. Fu Yunting, you despicable scoundrel. Fu Yunting retracted his pheromones and allowed me to attack him. So, after 3 years, you've grown bored, have you? No, I was just joking around with friends back then. Stop your evasions. You show me no respect. Your actions make me question whether your professed love over these 3 years was merely a charade. You make me feel disgusted. Fu Yunting was angrier than I was. Why do you cling to the past? Are you blaming me for ruining your relationship with Shen Yan? Zhangzhe, does it matter how we began? For 3 years, I have been utterly devoted to you. Why would you doubt my sincerity? I've been overwhelmed with work. Can you not stir up trouble for me? I was momentarily stunned. At that moment, I felt like a forsaken wife, scorned by her husband. His gaze and tone were filled with cold impatience. My words faltered. I was not skilled at arguing, and with red-rimmed eyes, I looked at him. Fu Yunting was taken aback as well. He grasped the nape of my neck and kissed me urgently. Less than 10 seconds later, he pushed me away and retched into a trash bin. The longer he spent with Song Yaoyang, the more acute his visceral aversion towards me became. Rejected by the one I loved. My heart ached as though it had been cleaved in two. I had truly had enough. Stop deceiving yourself, we can never be together. You have encountered your destined one. Your pheromones have long since betrayed you. The strong liquor has fallen for the rose and wishes to remain chaste for her, closing the door on the peach. I turned and walked away. Zhangzhe, stop right there. Fu Yunting chased me down the stairs. Song Yaoyang stood at a distance, gazing at Fu Yunting with longing. Just then, we were ambushed. Over 100 assailants surrounded us, and chaos erupted as both sides clashed. Fu Yunting rushed to my side, and we fought back to back. Our coordination was seamless as we sought to break through the encirclement. Suddenly, I caught a whiff of rose pheromones. It was Song Yaoyang's pheromones, signaling for help. My compatibility with him was not particularly high, around 45. Yet even so, I felt an overwhelming urge to protect him. Fu Yunting, with a compatibility of 9,999, raced to his side and took a knife for him. My back was left unguarded, and I was struck twice. Panicked, I turned to assess Fu Yunting's injuries, and in my moment of distraction, I was tackled to the ground by 2 assailants. Fu Yunting screamed in a frenzy. Shigu! I bore the pain and fought fiercely amidst the chaos. Fu Yunting attempted to reach me, but was ensnared by the rose pheromones. Brother Yunting, I'm so scared. Song Yaoyang whimpered. Fu Yunting shielded him, his eyes wild with rage. The battle raged on for several minutes. I stood unsteadily, bloodied and clutching my abdomen, gazing at Fu Yunting. I felt so weary. Fu Yunting dropped his weapon and rushed toward me in a panic. Just before I collapsed, he swept me into his arms. Holding me tightly, I rested my head on his shoulder, clutching his clothing as tears streamed down my face. In the moment of peril, he had not chosen me. Fu Yunting trembled, tears cascading down his face as he said, "It's all right. It's all right, my darling. We'll go to the hospital right away.
Ye.
Please don't sleep. Don't sleep. I succumbed to a suffocating darkness. I was in critical care for 3 days and nights. When I finally regained consciousness, Fu Yunting held my hand, his gaze fixed intently on me. His eyes were bloodshot, and he appeared utterly worn. You were stabbed 17 times, a total of 17. The wound on your abdomen was the most severe, requiring 40 stitches. How could I abandon you when you entrusted your back to me? My heart felt remarkably calm. He had merely succumbed to the pull of pheromones, following his instincts. I spoke softly, Fu Yunting, let us break up. Tears streamed down his face as he insisted. No. You promised me you wouldn't leave. You must stay by my side for life. I will never be with Song Yaoyang. I am a person, not a slave to pheromones. I love you. Only you. Shigu. I have not changed my heart. You cannot cast me aside. Fu Yunting cautiously leaned in to kiss me. Yet our pheromones clashed once again. My body was weak, and his pheromone assault caused beads of cold sweat to form on my forehead. Fu Yunting immediately released me. Fu Yunting, but the pheromones say we are impossible. Focus on your recovery. I will resolve this matter. His eyes radiated determination as he left. Suddenly, Fu Boming passed away, and the other factions of the Fu family conspired to assassinate Fu Yunting. Acting swiftly, Fu Yunting dealt with them all, leaving them no escape. Ultimately, he became the new head of the Fu family. I remained in the hospital for a month before being discharged. Fu Yunting ceased all interactions with Song Yaoyang and terminated all business dealings with the Song family. One day, Song Yaoyang unexpectedly arrived at my shop. I had just finished repairing a vehicle and was covered in oil. He pinched his nose in disgust. I really can't comprehend how Brother Yunting could be interested in a rough, dark-skinned man like you. Don't get too smug. I won't give up. With a compatibility of 99.99, he will always think of me and desire me. He won't last long before he comes looking for me. I'm afraid you needn't say any more. My decision to leave is already made. A gleam of joy flickered across Song Yaoyang's face. Are you truly serious? Indeed. Then you should hurry and go. Don't cling to Brother Yunting any longer. I watched as Song Yaoyang departed, a hint of envy evident in my gaze. A match score of 9,999, a bond destined at first sight. In this world, one is often governed by pheromones. A high compatibility leads to a love that forms the most steadfast of relationships. Yet, a romance like that between Fu Yunting and myself defies nature itself. I cannot bear to witness Fu Yunting's indifference towards me. Thus, this time, avoiding the metaphorical wall, I resolved to be the one to leave first. My agility allowed me to evade the bodyguards. I relinquished everything and departed from the capital. I heard whispers that the prince of the capital has gone mad, scouring the world for a wife. In Beihai, I continued to run a car repair shop, occasionally taking on programming projects. I am not a person of great ambition. I find contentment in simply going with the flow. While working beneath a vehicle, I reached out to my assistant, saying, "Hand me the wrench." Upon receiving it, a familiar pheromone scent wafted into my nostrils. Emerging from beneath the car, I was greeted by the radiant smile of Shun Yen. "How did you know I was here?" "I recalled you mentioning your fondness for Beihai. I decided to take a chance and searched for newly opened repair shops over the past 6 months, visiting them one by one until I found you. As expected of a top student. Truly clever." At that moment, a customer named Zhao Shua arrived to pick up his car. "Boss Jiang, I brought you some cake I made, specifically for you to sample." I took a cigarette, contemplating the presence of others, and refrained from lighting it, smiling as I replied, "Thank you." Zhao Shua stuffed the cake box into my arms and fled, covering his face. I was left bewildered, asking, "Am I really that intimidating?" Shin Yen chuckled. "He has feelings for you." "Pardon? Brother Jie, you are truly handsome yet oblivious." I dismissed it with a smile, placing the cake in the office and inviting Shin Yen to dine at a restaurant. We reminisced about our school days, filled with nostalgia. In high spirits, I indulged in a few extra drinks. As we parted, Shin Yen suddenly embraced me. "Brother Jie, I am still waiting for you." I remained unmoved, saying, "Do not wait for me, move forward." "Are you still waiting for Fu Yunting?" "I am not waiting for anyone. I am merely living my life well." Suddenly, a wave of pheromones, imbued with a sense of urgency, surged towards Shin Yen. I instinctively shielded him, releasing my own pheromones in response, and beheld Fu Yunting standing not far away. Has his pheromone scent changed? It now bore a subtle aroma of light sake, and its rank seemed to have diminished from a level to a lower one. The hierarchy of pheromones ranges from low to high, classified into 4 levels. Fu Yunting approached me, enveloping me in his arms with a smile. Brother Jie, it has been a long time.
Fu Yanting kissed me.
10 seconds, 30 seconds, 60 seconds. He showed no sign of rejection. The kiss grew more fervent, as if he wished to consume me whole. Just as I felt on the verge of asphyxiation, he finally released me. I attempted to bid farewell to Xin Yan, but he would not allow it, pressing my head into his chest and coldly commanding, "Have you seen enough? Now leave. Goodbye, Brother Jie." Xin Yan departed in a car. I looked up at him. Fu Yunting cradled my face, tears glistening in his eyes, saying, "Darling, what are the usual procedures in a wife-chasing fire pit? I lack experience. Please teach me." The taste of light sake lingered in my mouth. Has the drug to sever pheromone dependency been successfully developed? No. Then how? I immediately reached to touch his gland, discovering several scars. "Bow your head." Fu Yunting obediently complied. His gland was marred by chaotic scars, resembling wounds inflicted by repeated scratching. "How did this happen?" He replied, looking aggrieved, "After you left, I did this to myself." Fu Yunting pressed his lips against mine. What use is a gland that cannot distinguish between a wife and a stranger? I stared at him in shock, as if something were tearing at my heart. The damage to his gland is irreversible. His self-harm would lead to pheromone disruption, subjecting him to extreme attacks from his own pheromones. This would be agonizing. "You reckless fool. What have you done? Can you believe now that I never intended to play games? I truly love you," he said, his voice filled with grievance. "You are the one who always plays the victim. It's utterly infuriating." I grasped Fu Yunting's hand and led him into the office. Fu Yunting surveyed my office, opened the cake box on the desk, and picked up a pink card, reading aloud, "Boss Jiang, I heard you have no boyfriend. I like you. May I date you? Shasha." Oh no, today I have inadvertently danced upon Fu Yunting's landmine repeatedly. Fu Yunting's face twisted with amusement and he pinned me against the desk. "You drank with your ex, let him hug you, and now there's a Zhao Shuo pursuing you. Brother Jie, the wife-chasing fire pit is on hold. I must first punish you." He lifted the hem of my short sleeve. I anxiously glanced at the door. It was unlocked, and any employee could enter at any moment. "Aren't you already punishing me? This hardly counts as punishment. I am clearly rewarding you." We both longed for each other, unwilling to endure even a moment apart. I leaned back in my chair, smoking, feeling my soul drift away. Fu Yunting wiped the table clean, took the half-smoked cigarette from my hand, and continued to smoke. After I ruined my gland, my compatibility with Song Yaoyang dropped significantly. "You just experienced it. I can still perform well with you. The peach-scented sake is a perfect match." Fu Yunting propped himself up on the arms of the chair, asking, "What obstacles remain between us?" I questioned, "What if next time I encounter someone with a high compatibility, and my pheromones betray you? Or if you again meet someone with high compatibility and your pheromones sweep the peach aside, what then?" Fu Yunting's gaze turned fierce. "In the first scenario, I would imprison you and engage in forced affection. In the second scenario, I would ruin my gland once more. Even if I had to remove it, I would do so. However, the societal standing of A is quite low, relegating them to menial work. He truly loves me immensely. Brother Jie, what is your answer?" I laughed, pulling him onto my lap. "If there is a next time, do not ruin your gland again. I will also confine you and make you suffer." Fu Yunting's eyes sparkled with anticipation. "Brother Jie, you must be ruthless with me. Do not show me pity." I chuckled, sealing my lips against his. Indeed, we are both twisted souls, a match made in heaven. After 2 weeks of pursuing me, I finally relented and returned with him. I truly have a knack for jinxing things. On the very day I returned to the capital, I encountered someone with a compatibility score of 90. The sensation was surreal. It felt as if I had been struck by a jolt of electricity, irresistibly drawn to him, crazily wanting to mark him. This craving was intense and overwhelming.
I found Fu Yanting increasingly intolerable.
Yet my soul remained acutely aware that I loved Fu Yunting. My body and soul were in a constant tug of war, leaving me conflicted. Fu Yunting, consumed by jealousy, confined me at home, forbidding me from stepping outside. When he kissed me, I would retch. When he pinned me down, I would throw him off. Fu Yunting looked hurt. "Brother Jie, I finally understand how you felt back then." I pulled him towards the bed, gritting my teeth as I declared, "Again, we must show our pheromones who truly reigns over this body." Fu Yunting rekindled his fighting spirit and kissed me once more. The peach pheromone clashed with the sake pheromone. As they intertwined, they crafted a sweet and delectable peach-flavored sake. He proudly declared, "Darling, your pheromone has succumbed to my influence. It will remember that I am your husband." I wrapped my arms around Fu Yunting's neck, wiping the sweat from his temples, and replied, "This is not my rightful place. It is my indulgence for you. Otherwise, you would be the one in my position." Then, Fu Yunting resumed his audacious demeanor. We entered a sensitive period together and harmoniously spent 7 days. He kissed every scar on my body, like a devout worshipper confessing to his deity. We would dedicate our lives to proving that love, in all its forms, can endure. Epilogue. From Fu Yunting's perspective, I became entranced, unable to resist gazing at my roommate, Jiangzhe. Jiangzhe, a ruggedly handsome man with a dark complexion and a well-toned physique, had a captivating allure. My heart raced at the sight of him, my mind flooded with thoughts of overpowering him. Yet, like me, he was taken having a boyfriend. To prevent myself from losing control, I distanced myself from him, avoiding the dormitory, until one day, I witnessed Jiangzhe kissing his boyfriend. Jealousy consumed me. He should belong to me. His kisses and everything about him ought to be mine. When I moved back into the dorm, I would occasionally flirt with Jiangzhe. The more I interacted with him, the more I found myself captivated. He was gentle, kind-hearted, and easily deceived. He looked at me with the same naive openness, allowing me to occasionally take advantage of his affections. Yet I was not satisfied. Thus, I deliberately approached his boyfriend, showering Xinyan with flowers and gifts. If Xinyan remained steadfast, I would patiently await their breakup. It did not take long for Xinyan's heart to lean towards me. I arranged for him to study abroad and subtly hinted that I would accompany him. Xinyan and Jiangzhe eventually parted ways. To my surprise, he cried. Enraged, I kissed him, but he refused to accept me. I had endured for too long. I no longer wished to suppress my desires. It was merely a matter of employing some tactics to indulge myself first. Once I tasted it, my cravings would fade. I was wrong, grievously so. As I helped him through his sensitive period, I savored the experience, becoming utterly enchanted by him. His performance in bed was nothing short of exceptional. Jiangzhe held traditional beliefs, feeling that having been intimate with me, he must take responsibility and agree to be in a relationship. My beloved Tao Tao could only be my wife in this lifetime. Even before he harbored feelings for me, I had already grown fond of him. The one who loves more invariably belongs to the one who loves less. I went to great lengths to please him, fearing even the slightest negligence. Witnessing the increasing affection in his eyes filled me with a sense of accomplishment. I lived a life fraught with danger, yet as long as he was by my side, I retained my humanity and did not lose control entirely. We were bound to encounter some turbulence, but I would strive to overcome all obstacles between us. Pheromones could not dictate my feelings. My soul whispered that I could only love Jiangzhe, unwaveringly, for all eternity. A forcibly picked peach is exceptionally sweet. The end. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed it, please consider subscribing and liking to show your support. Until we meet again in the next story.